Good morning, guys, and welcome to Trinity's training page. Today we're going to continue our force fetch with Trinity here. She's ready to get up on the table. We're going to pick her up and put her up there. We're going to remove this e-collar. I don't like to use that until I get done with hold and get her fetching well. Till I start getting some freebies without the ear pinch. We'll get her hooked up here. Like I said, we're going to continue with hold. Sit down. Sit down. Had a girl. Good girl. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my paint roller here. Take that collar controller out of there. Here, come here. Come here. Sit. As you can see, Trinity's gotten quite comfortable up here on this table. She's still got that little pressure sit. Sit down. Sit down. Hold. Hold. Sit. Hold. No. Sit. Sit. Good. Good. Sit. Give. Today we're going to try to extend our length out a little bit. Here. Here. Come here. Sit. Come here. Here. Sit. This chain out of the way here. Sit. 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 Good girl. Sit. Give. Again, you want to remember, the dog moves, not the paint roller, okay? Good girl. Sit. 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 Good. Give. Good girl. Okay. Good. Now, guys, I've already made it back to where I quit yesterday on this. Give. Here. Good. Sit. 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 Good. Good. Sit. Give. Atta girl. Guys, that nose scruff works really well. It may seem a little aggressive to some of you, but I assure you it's a lot aggressive than I have seen on some other force fetch tables. All we're trying to do is just, like I said, we're trying to remain friends here, but we're also trying to establish a chain of command. Sit. Sit. So she has to know that we expect her to do what we ask. Give. Good. Sit. The only way that she's going to get better at this is to do more repetition. Sit. 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 Give. I know some of you are wondering when I am up here using the sit command instead of hold, like you see a lot of people do, I'm using indirect pressure there. I'm correcting her for something that she's already doing. In her mind, she's not thinking about this. She's thinking about her hind end, and it kind of takes some of the mental pressure off of this bumper. But also what that's going to do is whenever she comes in from a retrieve with a bird, what's the first thing you're going to tell her? Sit. 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 No, no. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. Good. Atta girl. Sit. Give. If you watch these dogs, the first thing that they do when they go to drop a bumper or a paint roller or whatever is their head is going to tend to move in a forward motion like that. And that's they will do that as they relax their jaw. Their head will kind of go forward and move down, and that's kind of how you can read that she's fixing to drop that bumper. Sit. Sit. Good. Sit. 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 Now you can see, you probably couldn't see me there, but sit. Sit. I'm going to stop a couple times. Sit. 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 Hold. Sit. Good. Deal. Guys, you couldn't see me. I went out actually about 10 feet further than my goal. My goal was about 30 feet from Trinity. I went out about 40 feet, and I realized that the sunshade kind of got in your way there of the camera. But I want to get a couple more reps like that in today if I can. Maybe break eye contact with her, and I will say we've got a pretty good hold in on her. She's still a little bit loose with her mouth when I come in and tap the bumper. Okay, that will tighten up over time. Once you start putting some ear pressure on this dog, and she drops, and then you can turn the pressure on for her dropping prematurely, she'll figure that out real quick. The object here is just to get her comfortable holding things in her mouth. Hold. Hold. Sit. Hold. Sit. 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 I'm out to my goal area here right now, about 30 feet. Sit. 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 Go ahead and bump her on the chin. Sit. 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 Give. Guys, that's 2 reps there. My mental goal for Trinity today was 3. I like doing things in 3s. So we're going to pet on her here just a minute, do a couple of short reps, and then we'll try to move back out to our long rep. You can see Trinity's getting a little fidgety, so that tells me she's getting close to being done. Sit. Dogs learn a lot better when they're at the stage of willing to learn. Sit. Give. Sit. You noticed I've got her tail moved here between her legs to kind of help with that lazy sit. She won't hardly lazy sit when she got that tail there. I put that tail there on purpose. Sit. Sit. I'm hitting that bumper pretty hard. Sit. Give. I don't know if you could hear it on the microphone or not, but I'm thumping it pretty hard. But we're going to try to get a rep in here and get moved on. Sit. 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 I'm going to break eye contact with her here. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Add a little praise there. Sit. I'm going to pause coming back in. Sit. Good girl. Sit. 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 Good dog. All right, guys. I would say we've got a pretty good handle right now on hold on Trinity. I feel real comfortable with her moving a little further on. I'm going to try something here. I didn't talk to Nikki about this before we started videoing, but Nikki, I'm going to get you to zoom in as close as you can to Trinity's ear. Okay? Just try to get her ear right here in the picture as close as you can get. You'll kind of have to work with me here, but if you guys will look right here inside of Trinity's ear, can you see that little bulb right there, Nikki, above my finger? Okay, this little bulb right here, this is the reason that we don't have to use wire pliers and screwdrivers and car keys and bottle caps and all that stuff. I went to a seminar about 5 years ago up at Castile Creek Kennels with Lyle Steinman, and he had a young guy there working for him that was doing the most of the force fetching, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but I know he was force fetching his own dogs. His name was Clint Mann. Okay, and in this seminar, he done a little portion of force fetch, and he's the one that showed me that little bulb right there. And that little bulb right there, you can get their attention pretty quick, and you don't have to put a ton of pressure on that dog's ear to do that. Now that being said, you want to keep an eye on that. Can you see it better right there, Nikki? That little bulb right there above my finger. That's the pressure point, okay, that we're going to use. A lot of guys will pinch the ear out here on the end, or they'll get it up here somewhere, or they'll get it down here, or they'll reach way down deep inside and pinch it. That doesn't do as good as that bulb, I promise you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I got Trinity a little further along today than I really anticipated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and introduce her to a little bit of ear pressure. I'm not going to give any command or anything. And Nikki, I want you to kind of zoom in up here on her head, because what we're looking for, just like we do when we collar condition with this pressure, is we're looking for a change in her facial demeanor, okay? We want to see something change in her face, and pardon me, I'm not sure you'll be able to tell it on the camera, but I'll be able to tell it, and I'll try to point it out. Pardon me, excuse me, guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bumper in front of her, and I'm going to put a little bit of ear pressure on her, and when I get that facial demeanor, I'm going to put this bumper in her mouth, and at the same time, I'm going to turn that pressure off, and I'm going to praise her, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to apply a little pressure right there. You guys see the change in her eyes? Good. Good. Sit. Good. Sit. Give. Sit. All right. Pressure on. Atta girl. Good. Good. Sit. I want to continue to enforce your hold. Sit. Give. Atta girl. See that head start to move? That's because I'm putting pressure on her. Good. As soon as that bumper breaks to plane the end of that nose and goes in her mouth, even though I'm having to put it in there right now, pressure off, praise on. Sit. Sit. Give. Good. Pressure on. Atta girl. Good. Good girl. Sit. 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 Give. I want to try to keep her facing me as much as I can, okay? And her turning that head is a form of avoidance, her wanting to avoid that pressure a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to step this way a little bit, okay? There's her change in demeanor. Good. Okay, see, she opened it up a lot quicker right there, all right? There's no hollering and screaming, squealing, and all that. Sit. Sit. See, she made a conscious decision right there not to drop that bumper. Give. Good. Good girl. Try to give her the opportunity. Atta girl. I didn't even have to stick my finger in her mouth that time. She just opened up. This little dog, she's pretty smart. Sit. She figures the problems out pretty quick. Gil. I think she's going to go a long way in her life. Pressure. Pressure. I'm just putting a little pressure on the end of her snout. Trying to get her to open her mouth. I'm going to have to stick my finger in there. Atta girl. I want to give it to her for about 5 or maybe 7 seconds, and if she don't figure it out pretty quick on her own, I want to go ahead and use my finger. Sit. Give. So that's how we introduce the ear pinch, guys. I've got one more thing I want to show you right quick. I'm not going to put any pressure on Trinity like this, but I do get some questions from time to time about how to properly use this tow hitch. I'm not a huge fan of the tow hitch, but there are some dogs that just tend to work better on the tow hitch. Those tend to be more high pressure dogs, but a lot of times I can spend a day or two on this tow hitch, and then I can go back and I can get what I need out of the ear, and it's just a lot easier to use the ear. You want to get this I made this out of a parachute cord. You want to get it up above the elbow, just so it's not slipping down all the time. A lot of guys will put it down here above the wrist, and it slips down all the time. You don't want it so tight that it cuts the circulation off, but you do want it tight enough that it can't move down the elbow. Make sure you're zoomed in here enough, okay? And then on this dog here, she has a dew claw, so I want to be very careful not to get it hung up in that dew claw. What I want to do is be in the inside of the foot where the dew claw's at. This is toe number 1, toe number 2, 3, and then 4 on the outside. I want to go between 1 and 2 and loop it underneath the pad on the foot and come up between 3 and 4, and then I want to go underneath the rope here, and then that's how you use a tow hitch, okay? And you just pull on it. You don't have to jerk on it. You just put pressure on it, okay? There's some pressure points right here between her toes that'll work just like this pressure point on her ear, okay? Now, Trinity's been very agreeable today and let me demonstrate all this on her. I'm going to finish up here with a couple of fun bumpers, and we're going to go out and do a few more yard work dogs. And then we're going to take these guys out and do some walking singles with them. Question I got yesterday was do I do yard work and field work in the same day? Absolutely. Do I throw Trinity marks at the same time I'm doing force fetch? Absolutely. Here. Hey. I want to keep that attitude up as high as a kite. Here, come here. That's a good girl. Hop. Hey. And she acts like she got a sticker in her foot. Here, come here. But anyway, that being said, guys, we want to keep Trinity's attitude up as high as we can at all times. We want her to have fun doing this because I want to have fun doing this. And if it's a job for me, it's a job for her, and we don't want that. Our main goal together, Trinity and I and her owner, is to have a well-trained retriever.